Today I am going to try and build 3 things in Minecraft creative mode. I am going to have a spinner wheel decide for me what to build. I am going to build 3 of whatever the spinner wheel lands on, but I am going to have a different amount of time to build each of them. The first one I have 5 minutes, the second one I have 50, and my third attempt I will have 5 hours to build it. So let's see what I have to build. I have 8 entries into the spinner wheel. I could get a castle, a theme park, a village, a farm, a treehouse, a boat, a library, or a museum. I am going to have to build, a village. So this means I need to build 3 villages. So let me get into the first world and set up a 5-minute timer. Okay, I have found the area that I'm going to use for this, and I have 5 minutes to build a village. I somehow think this isn't going to be a very functional village by the end of it. I have 5 minutes starting now. Okay, my 5 minutes are up. I, as no surprise to me, did not get very far. This is my village. I have 3 complete houses that look a little bit on the rougher side, and I have the start of another house here. I was able to put some cornflowers in, add a bit of a path, some really uninspired lampposts, and every village needs to have a bell. I didn't have much time to think about design, so I went very basic, usual Minecraft village, but I am hoping that in the 50-minute and the 5-hour builds, I will be able to be a little bit more experimentative, as I will actually have the time to play around a bit. But here, I just wanted to focus on getting some things on the ground and built, as 5 minutes is not a lot of time. I obviously also did not have time to furnish the insides, so we have some grass inside and no floor. I wish I didn't even start attempting to build a 4th house when I only had 30 seconds left, but 3 houses isn't that much of a village. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the exact same seed for all of these villages so we can kind of compare and contrast them at the end of this. So I'm going to get the next world prepared. So my 5-minute village didn't turn out all that impressive, but now I get to try and build a village in 50 minutes, which compared to 5 minutes seems a lot longer, but in reality, I'm not so sure. I don't really have much of a plan going into this village other than I want to take the time to experiment a bit and maybe landscape. But I can't get too ahead of myself as I want an actually functioning village. This is going to be something. So let's start the clock in 3, 2, 1. Let's do this. Goodbye, lava lake. What are those? I have never seen those in my life before. This isn't going so well for me. I've already basically used 5 minutes and I have an experimental front of a house that I'm not even sure that I like, but honestly I might just need to commit. I wanted to go down the experimental route, but this isn't working out for me. I think I just need to focus on getting some more unique buildings and building this village out a bit, as it's not going to be much of a village if I only have like 3 houses, but if I get some base buildings I can copy them. Okay, I'm kind of panicking a bit. I have used about 13 minutes and I have 2 mediocre houses and I'm working on a 3rd design. I have a feeling this isn't going to be a lot bigger than my last village. That is a little bit disappointing. think this might be the last or second to last house I build, as I want to try and clean things up a bit and actually make it a nice end product, which means I probably need to use my last 12 or so minutes to do that. What are you doing here? You're not allowed? And those are the 50 minutes up. So let me show you what I have made. This is what it looks like from above. It is very small. I only have 7 houses, but I mainly focused on the aesthetics. So from the ground, it's actually quite cute, in my opinion. I'm not so sure on the palette of the houses, but I chose some blocks and I kind of had to commit to them. So I have 4 different styles of houses that I've made. This is kind of like the biggest one, the main one. I was thinking about making almost like a village hall, but I realized there was not going to be enough time for that. I have several animal pens dotted around, lots of oak trees, lots of cornflowers. We have a path that runs through it. We have lampposts, benches, a few places for crops to grow. I turned the lava lake into a pond, and down this way I decided to add a little jetty. It isn't perfect as I rushed it, but I thought it was kind of cute. I wish I was able to do a bit more with this area, but I did what I could with the time. Overall, I'm quite happy with it. So that means it is time for the 5-hour village. I am excited for the possibilities, but I'm also scared. I'm worried that it's not going to go my way, or it's not going to look how I want it to look. So yes, I am nervous, but 5 hours is a long time. If there's something I don't like about the village, then I can change it. So let's load up the final world for this. Okay, we are on to the final build, and honestly, I don't have that much of a plan. 5 hours is a long time. I don't feel like I need a solid concrete plan for this. However, I do know that I'm going to take things rather leisurely to start off with, at least, as the last 2 builds have been very rushed. But I have time this round, so I'm hoping not to really start panicking until the 1 hour mark. But my plan is to spend roughly the first half an hour purely on landscaping and figuring out the palette that I want to use, as I actually want to make a bit of a nicer area to build this village. So I think that is going to be my first job, to probably bring this down a bit, maybe scale that back a bit, remove the lava lake, maybe cover a bit of this up. Nothing too extreme, but just to make my job a little bit easier. So I don't think there is any point delaying the inevitable. So let's get on with the 5-hour village build, starting now. How have I been in this world for 10 minutes? I'm really not doing a very good job at this. You see, I want to build something a bit more sophisticated almost, but I feel like I'm wasting time. I still have 4 hours and 48 minutes to go, so everything is fine. You know what, I think I'm going to have to stick with this sort of design. I have committed 16 minutes to this so far. First house done. I'm not the most impressed with it, but I think it will have to do. I am copying the design of one of my houses from last round, but honestly, I'm running a bit low on creativity. Okay, why is this kind of cute to me? I'm going to build so many of these, I just know it. Okay, I have 4 houses so far. This is definitely my least favourite, but I'm going to keep it as it is for now, and maybe change it at a later date. Excuse me, I'm literally trying to build some stables. You are in the way. Okay, my 5 hours are up, and I must say, it's not perfect, but I quite like it. I did get a bit bored at points, so I don't think I did as much as I could have done, but I am happy with what I achieved. So, let me go ahead and introduce you to my 5-hour village. Ta-da! I'm kidding. This is a very small section of it. Let me show you the main part of the village, which happens to be over this little bridge here. This is the main section of the village. Again, I could have definitely made it a little bit bigger, but I think this size works well. So let me drop down onto the floor and give you a bit more of a close-up tour. This is basically the village square. I did not remember to put a bell in the last village, but I did remember to put one in this one. All around, I have quite a lot of crop patches as well as some little animal pens. I have a few different house designs. This one's unique. I have lots of this design, a few of this design, but honestly it's mostly this. I didn't experiment as much as I probably could have, but I'm not going to lie, my creativity was wearing thin at points during this. But I did have time to furnish each of the houses, not to the biggest extent, seeing as how many houses do I have? I think I have 23, so I couldn't really furnish them all with the utmost care, but I did some basics. I added a path that connects all of the houses and buildings together. Over this way I have another house design, and I was kind of inspired by my last village and wanted to build a path down this way which leads to a bridge which goes over to a very small section. I definitely could have expanded it, but I wanted to focus more on this mainland area over here. But I have a cute little area with some chickens, some lampposts, and 3 houses. Back over on the main side, I have lots of sugarcane growing. I have a sheep pen, a main wheat farm. I added some stalls for like a market square sort of vibe with some little houses. I added a fountain with a path that goes all the way around it. I wanted to add a stable, so that is what I did. I have 3 horses and a storage area over here. On another side of a fountain, I have this sort of discreet path that goes around this way. I have a little boat dock here, and then I just wanted to add a single house sort of apart from the rest to look over the river. Back over by the stables I have some flower boxes and another little path to a tiny beach area with some lounges. Going this way I have the village hall. I did not deck this out on the inside, but I did add a stained glass window which I wanted to represent emeralds, seeing as this is a village. There may not be any villagers here, but I wanted that little nod to them. And then around here there's another exit to the stables, and I have 3 more houses around here, one of them looking over the lake slash pond again. I have added quite a lot of trees to try and create a separation between the village and the outside world, which I think has mostly worked, and it definitely gives it a bit of a cozier feel. I must say overall I am pretty happy with this. I probably could have done more in the 5 hours, but I didn't really want to push myself to creative exhaustion, which is why I stuck with the same designs for the houses. This was a lot of fun, and I definitely want to do another one of these in the future. But for now, I think I'm going to end this video here. If you enjoyed them, please make sure to click the like button, and please do consider subscribing as it really helps. Thank you very much for watching, and I will hopefully see you next time.